after a week of people asking me, multiple people asking me, Nick, do a video about you being a vegan and about hair loss. And I was like, people won't care about that. People did care about that, enough for me to even make a follow-up video later the next day. You know, I need to read some of these comments because I'm confused. I'm confused because I am a vegan and I'm confused. Here's a comment. Chance Cycle left a comment on would you go vegan to prevent hair loss? And here's what he said. I actually went vegan for a full month of April, and that's when I first noticed any signs of hair loss. It may have started a long time ago, but I noticed my hair seemed thinner. It's important to get protein, which is challenging as a vegan. Protein is important for healthy hair, so for me it had the opposite effect. But I would say go vegan for the rest of my life if it did in fact stop hair loss. Okay, I'm confused. Right in the middle of the comment is this line. It's important to get protein, which is challenging for a vegan. I'm really confused by that because, as you know, I've been a vegan for over 4 years and it's not challenging to get protein. In fact, I would actually argue it's harder to get protein if you aren't a vegan, because then you've got to go get the meat, it's got to be cooked, or you've got to cook it, not to mention all the process of how the meat came from an animal and all that. But look at this, okay? I mentioned yesterday there's 6 sources of protein. Like, it's pretty simple. So, for example, I mentioned vegetables and fruit. Okay, so there's 2 of the 6 sources. I mentioned grains and beans. Of course, grains could also, instead of just being oats, it could be pasta, it could be bread, it could be rice and beans. Okay, and then lastly, nuts and seeds, which especially are full of fat. Of course, 0 cholesterol and protein. So those all have protein, and all my meals are based off of those. I have a smoothie in the morning. I may have some ramen noodles for lunch sometimes. I drink coffee during the day, and then my wife makes a nice meal at night with a salad. I'm really confused on how it's a challenge to get protein. I've lived this as my life. I'm not any kind of struggle to get protein. I'm really confused by that. All right, so, but that's not the only time this came up. Let me find this other comment. I'm looking at the app on my phone for YouTube here. I'm just really confused. Okay, here's another one. And this was the same video. Would you go vegan to prevent hair loss? Jack Ito had this to say. Yes, I would certainly. However, going vegan is likely to make your hair's condition worse. Your hair is 100% protein. Therefore, intake and consumption of meats plus other protein-related foods is likely the best diet to prevent hair loss. But again, I'm confused because I get enough protein. I've been a vegan for over 4 years. I'm not lacking protein. I'm curious, is anyone watching these videos thinking that I am lacking protein? Look at me. Am I lacking protein? You've seen me every day. What about me makes it look like I'm lacking protein? I even went to the doctor halfway into being a vegan, and I said, check me out, how do I look? And he's like, you're healthy. You're healthier than most people your age. And at the very end, I said, am I getting enough protein? And he laughed. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, because I'm a vegan. He's like, yeah, you're fine. There's no problem. So I'm asking you, is there anyone watching this video who thinks I'm not getting enough protein? Like, please comment. If you don't think I'm getting enough protein, please comment, because I'm really confused on how any of you would know more about me needing more protein in my diet. For 4 years, I'm really baffled by this. I'm really thoroughly confused. Like, I get the theory, the concept of, hair, protein, I get that, but that would have to be under the assumption I'm not getting enough protein. Okay, so help me sort that out. Help me understand how I'm not getting enough protein. And then, of course, help me sort out the fact, too, that for me personally, as I showed you the picture yesterday, this is the year I became a vegan, and that's my hairline. All right, so it hasn't gotten any worse for me. All right, now and as I mentioned yesterday, too, there's not YouTube, Netflix. Just watch it. It's called What the Health. What the Health. It's on Netflix, And they talk about all of this on there. They talk about the whole protein thing. There's one more here, if I can try to find it, that I had read earlier today about this whole thing about the connection between hair loss and being a vegan, if I can find it in time, because I think it's just really telling of all this. So confused about this. So, all right, here we go. I found the comment. It's from Jose Manuel Lopez Reyes, and I've already read it once. Let me just read it again, just to counter the two testimonials you've heard from two other people watching the video. So a reminder of what Jose said. Thanks for the video. I'm 34 and pretty much have a full head of hair except for a slightly receding hairline. I have a brother 2 years younger than me who is almost bald. The difference? I went vegan 8 years ago and he still eats a standard American diet. In other words, meat-based. Coincidence? Who knows? But the evidence is there. Your hair looks the same as it did 4 years ago, by the way. Keep up the good work. So here's the position you're in. Here's the responsibility you have after watching this video. I mean, I'm putting you on the spot. You're investing your time in watching the video, so you have to answer on this. A, am I getting enough protein? I'm 5'9". I'm around 160 pounds. Google that. I'm age 36. Google that. You tell me if I'm in the right range for my weight to be 36 and 5'9". If I weigh around 160 pounds, you tell me if I'm, by weight alone, if I'm not getting enough protein. In theory, I'd be underweight. Nor am I overweight. Just pointing that out. Okay, so that's assignment number one. Am I getting enough protein? You tell me. Okay. Second of all, which camp do you go with? Make a decision on this, because you're the outsider, and this is fun for me. Based on what you've been presented with in this video alone, these testimonials you've heard, you've had two people say that protein based and you got to get your protein from animals. One person who was a vegan for 30 days and the other didn't say that they were ever a vegan. Or you compare that to a guy who's been a vegan for over 4 years and was a vegetarian a year before that, in case that matters. This was my hairline 4 years ago. So what do you think? Do you think that being a vegan makes hair loss better or worse? Do you think I'm getting enough protein? Do you think vegans have any struggle getting protein? Watch What the Health on Netflix, and you'll see where they talk about how vegans actually, people who are vegans get the fiber that they need, and people who eat meat actually get twice the amount of protein that they need. So they eat too much protein but not enough fiber if they eat meat, whereas vegans get enough protein and they also get enough fiber. I'm really confused. So just in review, in case anyone's on the fence, where do I get my protein? Okay, just in case. Vegetables and fruits, grains and beans, nuts and seeds. All right, you're the judge and jury on this. Let's resolve this in the comments. Am I getting enough protein? And then the other question is, do you think, based on the testimonials you've heard, based on the Jose, the other vegan, and me, versus the other two people who commented, who do you think's right? If you had to choose, which way would you go? That being a vegan helps stop hair loss, or it only makes it worse? You are the judge. This is so much fun for me. Do it.